Hi guys, and welcome back to another fly tying tutorial. What you see in the vise is a Fluff Cat. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise then is a Hanak H900 barbless hook. It's at size 8, it's on a heavy wire and it's finished in black nickel. The thread I'm going to be using today is from Simplify. It's the Nano Silk at 6/0 or 1000D if you like, and as you can see it's white. Now the bead on the hook is a 3.8 brass hook and it's finished in hot orange from Hanak. So first things first, because we're using nano silk, I'm going to get a little spot of super glue onto the shank of the hook. Now the super glue just helps the nano silk adhere to the shiny black nickel finish. If you're using a different hook, it may well be that you'll get away with wax, but with these Hanak hooks I find a little touch of super glue just helps to secure that into place. So I've come back just beyond the point of the hook and I'm going to remove my rat's tail. Now the Zonker that I'm using for the fluff at the front and the tail is from Troutline, and as you can see it's a white packet. Now so with my Zonker strip, I like to prepare it by getting a comb and just combing out any of the underfur. Now to be fair, the Troutline stuff's of really good quality and it doesn't take a lot to get the underfur from it. Now you'll see that the Zonker strip is finished at a flat end, and what I want to do is just cut, just going to get the material in my hand so I don't cut into that, a little taper at the end here. Now this takes a little bit of practice to get right, but it is worth it. And the reason I'm doing this is the movement is different in the fly, and I'll just show you that up on the small camera. I've got a little taper into the end. You get a little bit of different movement. It kicks more, is what I would say. Now, what I want for my cat is twice the length of the shank of the hook. So I'm going to just pull that back and then I can cut that away and I can put that to the side for the next one. So now I've got this lovely little bit of Zonker strip. It doesn't look very big, but I want to take probably about 1.5 centimeters off of the strip. I don't want to discard it, so I'm going to just fan it out with my fingers as best I can, and then I'm going to come in with my clip. Now this is a Mark Pettijohn clip, but there is other clips available to use, and I'm going to click that in. Now I can come in with my scissors and just remove that. So what I'm left with is this, and that's going to provide me with the fluffy part at the front. Now the bit that I've still got here, I can then dress up to my fly. I'm going to make sure that bead's in place and catch that in like so, all the way up to just past the point. Just make sure you've got that strip sitting on the top of the shank. You don't want it slipping down the side or the fly won't swim right. So just tidy that up a little bit, and there I've got my tail that's going to give me lots of kick because we've put that little wedge in. Okay, next then I'm going to add some green fritz. This one's from F&F. It's the jelly fritz. They've got funny names for them. I think they call it atomic green or something like that. I've got it out the packet now, so I've no idea what its actual designation is. I'm sure any fans of the F&F will know what it is. So I've got that in place. I'm going to bring my thread up and I want to park it about 2 millimeters from the bead. Just make sure that none of that nice Zonker's getting trapped in there. And then what I want to do is bring it up I'm going to wet my thumb and forefinger in my left hand so that I can pull the fritz back just like you would a Palmer. You want to get it stacked nice and tightly in there. I usually damp down, if I'm doing a few at the same time, I damp down a length of the fritz just under the tap, take off the excess water, and then I work with it like that. I like it nice and wet, but just for doing one, it's hardly worth it. So just damp that down. One last turn, and I'm going to come over with my thread and just get that trapped into place. Then I can get a few turns in front of the material. And something I like to do with fritz, I've got this tool here. It's got a little blade on the end, and it just makes it a little bit easier than getting scissors in there. Then I can simply tidy up the front bit, get any little loose bits of fritz that's coming off out the way. And before I do the next stage, I've got this old wire brush that in fact I could do with getting a new one actually. It looks like it's past its sell by date, this one. It gets used for all manner of different jobs around the time bench. You get them out at the pound shop. You get 5 or 6 of them actually. I probably just need to dig out the other ones that I've probably got stashed in some corner of my tying room here. So I'll just get that out the way, and I'm fairly happy how that's looking so far. The next thing then is we're going to come back to our clip, and you'll remember that we took this material from the Zonker strip that we've got in the tail, and all I'm doing now is simply spreading that out in my clip like so. The next thing then, the beauty of this tool actually is once you've finished cutting the fritz, it's also a boarding needle. It's probably one of the most useful things I've bought in recent months actually. A really cool tool. So I'm going to get a bit of thread off the spool. I'm going to come in from behind and just open up my thread to create a dubbing loop. This is one of my favourite properties of the nano silk. You know, you can just split it very easily to create a dubbing loop. Then I'm going to take my clip and put it in to my split thread. I can remove that. You've got to keep pressure on your bobbin holder at this point. If you let go, all your fluff is going to fall out. And then I can spin that up, and I'm going to end up with a really fluffy, hackled sort of front here. So once I'm content that that's done, I'm going to lick my thumb and forefinger again just to get that fritz right back out the way, and then I'm going to bring the remaining Zonker strip around the front like so, and it's going to give it that cloak over the fritz, and hence the name, the Fluff Cat, obviously. So again, I'm damping down my thumb and forefinger, just trying to get everything away from where I want to finish the fly up. And I don't want to go in with glue after I've whip finished. So what I'm going to do is put a touch of super glue onto my thread, like so. I'll get several wraps in, and then come in with my whip finish tool, like so, and then I can just come on with my scissors, take that away. Now, fishing this fly is fairly straightforward stuff. I suppose you could fish it as a team. I would never fish something this size as part of a team. Maybe 2 flies, but never as a 4 or 3 fly cast, but on its own, on a small still water, I think this is a fly that will do you plenty of damage. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.